Hey guys, what's up? Nick here once again, and today on Will It Run on the Steam Deck, we are checking out the newly released Callisto Protocol. Yes, I know, it got a lot of heat. This game wasn't what everybody was expecting, but I do want to say that the developers of this game, they truly are passionate about the project. They've been releasing a ton of patches since its launch to show that they care about it, and they don't want to just give you guys a crappy game experience and disappear with the money they got. They are trying to essentially pick up the pieces to make everybody happy, and I think they're doing a really great job on that. Is the game perfect? Not at all. Is it what we were really expecting? And again, not really at all. It's a completely different experience from Dead Space, and I really wish the marketing team would have realized that before pushing out all those advertisements before its launch. I think it really would have saved it. Obviously, the other issues at launch were the horrible stuttering and performance in general on the PC. Like I said, they have updated a ton since launch. They also fixed a ton of the performance issues. I replayed this recently on my gaming PC and it ran beautifully, so I am very curious to see, like you guys are who clicked on this video, how is it going to run on the Steam Deck? Now, it is rated at playable. It's not necessarily said that it's going to run great on deck, and let's just, out of curiosity, check out the details on what playable means. So some in-game text is small and may be difficult to read. This game requires manual configuration of graphics settings to perform well on the Steam Deck. All functionality is accessible, and this game shows Steam Deck controller icons, so that's pretty good, and it says it's playable, which is pretty cool. So out of the box, you don't really have to do any tinkering other than going into the graphics, which honestly, I kind of expected anyway. But before we jump into it, I want to give a quick shout out to Terry3805 for suggesting this game and for the idea, so thank you so much. If you guys have a suggestion for a future video on what game I should test out on the Steam Deck, let me know in the comment section below and you may be featured in a future video. And also one last thing, I apologize, we're not jumping into it right away. You might notice this little guy up here. I am actually recording audio for the first time ever. You might be able to hear it in the background right now, and I'm clicking between little settings here. And I know that this has been a complaint some people had where I didn't have any audio, and I apologize that, but from now on, every single one of these testing videos, I will be recording game audio, so let's get going. So we are booting in while it's compiling the shaders here. I do want to give a quick little disclaimer. I am using a wireless Bluetooth controller, so yes, this is all totally real. It's not fake, it's not green screen or anything. What you're going to be seeing is coming straight from the Steam Deck itself, and of course, I'm also not doing any shadow play or whatever it's called, casting, you know, from my PC to this guy. So it looks like it booted up just fine. I didn't have any issues or glitches or nothing. Let's go into the settings and make sure we have the correct graphic settings. So if you are new to this series, I like to test it out in various different situations. We usually start out at a cap of 30 at the lowest settings, and then we go up from there. So in the game, I'm going to leave the frame rate unlimited. I'm going to use the actual Steam Deck settings to mess with the frame rate. But we'll leave it on DirectX 12 for now. Display, we're in full screen at full resolution. All right, so I set everything to low, and we're gonna go in here and we're gonna set a frame rate cap of 30 at 60 Hertz. I'm not gonna mess with anything else or have any scaling filters on. Let's jump into it and see what we get. So it looks like off the bat here, we are getting 30 frames, no problem. It's not dipping below or nothing. But again, this is a pre-rendered cutscene, so I would expect this to run okay. So there we did have a little bit of a dip. But still nothing terrible. I'm really curious when we get an actual gameplay what this is going to do. I mean, even at low settings on this display, this game still looks amazing. And that was another thing I wanted to say at the beginning, but I didn't want to get too into it and make you guys wait forever to get into the game. This game is gorgeous. It's probably one of the best looking games I've ever seen, let alone best looking game of last year. Because it technically came out in 2022. They have to pat themselves in the back for the graphical design of this game, the animation work, sound design. I mean, all of that is just flawless in my opinion.
We're never gonna have to work another day in our lives. Well, I guess you got it all figured out. I guess so.
All right, so we're in it now. We are taking control. There is a slight delay though, in terms of its camera at least. Oh, actually everything's a little bit delayed, so I don't know if I can get this on camera. Watch how much of a delay from the movement of with the camera. It's pretty noticeable. And I know it's not the connection to the controller to the Steam Deck, because I've never noticed that before with any game. So that might be something to do with the performance. Hard to say. But otherwise, so far it looks like at least it's playable. But of course, that little bit of a delay, that's going to be a huge hindrance during combat. So I'm really curious to see what that's going to be like when we finally run into our first enemy. But yeah, I mean, so far this is looking good. Better than I expected. I didn't even expect this to run at all. So, yeah, we're not doing bad.
This better be worth the trouble.
All right, well, since we've seen this much at 30, let's take the frame rate limit off. And see what this does. So we do get some dips.
Son of a bitch.
But it looks like we're getting, on average, above 50. At least in this area of the game. So definitely far from bad, that is for sure. What's weird is not only the controls delayed a little bit, the audio's delayed. And again, I tested all this before before recording, and there was no audio delay with my recording software setup here, so I don't necessarily know why there's such a delay with the audio in this game and the controls. We made it. Kinda. All right, so clearly the game is running. Let's actually go to one of my saves in the game, see a little what the combat looks like, and if it's running just as good, you know, halfway through the game versus at the very beginning. All right, so again, this is about halfway through the game, maybe a little closer than that. Seems to be still running at a constant, at least above 30. Again, we are at low settings, everything low, and we have an uncapped frame rate at the moment. But I still got that weird delay, man. I don't know what that's all about. It's really odd. We are getting some drops here. Oops. Oh, shit. Still just as brutal as I remember. All right, well, I guess just for kicks, let's try out on higher graphic settings versus the low settings. So, will I say that at this moment, though, Ray, like, obviously it's going to get worse from here in terms of performance. There's no way it's going to get better with higher graphics. I mean, I could be shocked, who knows. At this moment, though, everything low, no frames on it, or no frame cap on it. Would I recommend getting the Callisto Protocol for the Steam Deck? With the sound delay and also the delay in the controls, I would have to say no. That honestly is the biggest issue for me. Yeah, there's been a couple times where the frames dip below 30, but in terms of actual, like, how it looks and whatnot, I think it's fine. I don't think that's really an issue. The frames seem to be okay. As long as they're above 30, I mean, that's definitely playable on a handheld. But again, the massive delay and just the input is really bad. And again, I don't know if that's necessarily because of the Steam Deck itself or if it's because of the game. Probably the game, because again, I've never had any delay issues with any games I've played. So yeah, that's very unique. But with that, let's give it a try with changing some of these settings. So let's actually use some of the default settings here instead of just doing custom. So I'm going to go to medium and we will apply that. And let's jump in. So we are back into the game. We are now on medium specs. Wow, believe it or not, there's even more of a delay now. That's wild. I don't know if the audio will be as delayed, but they added motion blur, which looks really bad. I'm seeing some screen tearing too. Oh gosh. So right off the bat, I would not recommend playing like this. And we are at a no frame cap as well. Oh shit. I promise I'm not that bad at this game. It's just the delay. It's so terrible. It's impossible to dodge moves. So that was medium. Let's try it on high. Just, you know, why not? Now that I think about it, since there's an ultra, let's just jump right to ultra. I did the same thing in my last video. I didn't have any complaints about skipping the high setting because the game, you know, already is pretty much in terrible performance mode anyway. So let's just jump right to ultra, see what happens, because, you know, why not? So this is already looking pretty good. We're at less than 20 frames going into the loading screen. That's wonderful. If I was to guess, this is probably going to crash the Steam Deck like it did with Need for Speed Unbound. Oh, Lord. Yep, we are getting the dreaded 10 frames a second. This is beautiful. So clearly, I would not recommend playing like this. Yeah, it's literally unplayable. All right. Since I didn't technically try it on low, I'm going to set it just to low graphics preset instead of actually changing everything to low myself. And let's just see. Maybe it'll be a little bit better performance than what I had. Who knows? I mean, if that's the case, that'll be really cool. Okay, we're in it. And yeah, we're getting about, actually, maybe a little bit better performance than before, but it's relatively in the same line. So, like I stated before, low settings, the game runs. It's got decent performance, right? It's got decent frames. It's not going to hiccup on you or stutter or anything like that. Maybe from time to time, very rarely. It is playable, but would I recommend it? No. And then again, that just comes back to this horrible delay with the actual controls. It's just, when you get in a combat situation, it's impossible to dodge, and this is going to happen to you every time. Just brutal. So, kind of a shame. Hopefully they continue working on this game and updating it as time goes on. I really could see this game running flawlessly on the Steam Deck in due time. It's just right now it's a little bit of a mess. And again, that's just, yeah, it's a terrible delay, both with sound and with the actual gameplay experience. So kind of a bummer, but I hope this video helped you guys in some way, shape, or form, whether you wanted to buy this game for the Steam Deck, or if you were just looking to see if this game on your library would actually work on the go. So if this video helped you guys out, please leave a like, share, support. As always, it does truly help. Remember to leave a comment in the comment section below on any future games you want me to check out in this series. You might be featured in a future video. Subscribe so you don't miss the next one. We'll hopefully see you in the next one. Peace out. Hey guys, Nick here once again, and I just wanted to pop into the very end of the video to give a special shout out to my channel members. If you don't know what a channel member is, essentially these wonderful people are using their hard-earned money to help keep the channel alive. So that's why I want to give a huge shout out to these guys, because they're amazing. And if you want to become a member yourself, you can do it as easily just by clicking on the little join button below every single one of my uploads, or just by going to my channel. There is 4 different tiers depending on how much you would like to support each month, and you can join for as little as $2 a month. And trust me, even if it's $2, it helps a ton, and it adds up at the end of the month so that I can get more games for you guys to review or make retrospective videos on, or to buy new technology such as new computer parts, or really anything to keep the channel afloat and to make more content for you guys. So with that, thank you so much to Thrasher, the Black Stallion, Vinny Severiman, Bacon Spaceman, my wife Way Lady, and Hull Healers Boat World. You guys are all amazing, and thank you so much for all the wonderful support. This channel is just growing and growing every single day, and I can't wait to see where this channel leads us. So with that, have a wonderful day. We'll see you next time. Peace.